Alright guys, so we're going to go through a trade review for London45 and we're going to show you how I journaled the trade into the new app OracleX, which is a fantastic AI journaling app which I think will change the game in trading. So let's go through our reasoning for London45 and let's do a journal together and see how we go. So I took this trade on Monday and it was a really nice trade, but alternatively there was two trades you could have taken during this time, which I'll show you. However, one just made more sense to me. There was a long trade, which was probably, in the end, probably the better trade. But let's just dive into why I took this trade and what London45 is. If you haven't seen the video, go check it out on my YouTube page in the links below and check out the model. And if you use it, please tag me in it. Let me know how you're going. It is based off Lethality's New York model, and it's fantastic, and if you like it, just let me know. So this was the reasoning behind the trade, right? So we've got Q1 here. This is Monday. You got the Asia session. It's a 15-minute chart. We have a daily cycle sequential SMT up here. Okay, so you can see that Asia has failed to take out London's high at the time. You can see Asia was taken out by London, and Dow failed to do the same at the time. And this gave us something to do heading into the London session. You can see this all ended up failing anyway, but we got the trade that we wanted. We had the right time frame in mind, and we had the right bias in mind for London. You can see we were terribly overextended during the Asia session, which generally means we'll get some level of retracement, and that gave us something to do. So the first thing we needed here was our key level, and our key level was taken out here. That's our first key level. That was the Asia high, and that was taken out during London. Okay, so that was the first thing we needed, and that gave us a daily cycle sequential SMT, where a bearish daily cycle sequential SMT between Asia and London, or Q1 and Q2. Okay. And then our second key level was this high up here. And this was Q1's high of the 90-minute cycle, which we'll get into just shortly. And we took this trade on NQ. You can see we have a 90-minute sequential SMT also, which I will show you shortly. And this was our second key level. So London45 is typically high probability when we do have a two-stage sequential SMT, which occurs here. You can see this happens at 1:45, so going into the 3 o'clock opening, or the 2:38 to 3:23, we can see that with a great deal of high probability, if we do have our two-stage sequential SMT and even get another one, then we can take a short. And basically, we targeted this low here to the left, okay, and we got out once we saw the bullish daily cycle sequential SMT from YM, which you got down here. Okay, and then this here. So we had this daily cycle sequential SMT. If we drop into our 5-minute time frame now, we've got our dividers on, things to accelerate, and Elijah's wonderful indicator, which is free, and I'll pop a link below. You can see here we have a 90-minute cycle sequential SMT between Q1 and Q2, and heading into the 2:38 to 3:23, we were looking for some sort of microcycle or some sort of run-on stops here to head lower. And basically, we just targeted some equal lows, and once we headed below the true opens, it was game over. So you can see we have the true day open, the midnight opening price, and the true London open 1:30 opening price, which is the opening of Q2. And you can see we're both above the true London and the true day open. So shorts here were very, very valid. So we've taken out our key levels. We've got a 2-stage, ends up being a 3-stage sequential SMT. And we get a 1-minute inverse for value gap for us to delve into price with. I did enter this trade a touch early. However, I was able to re-enter and get a really nice trade. So this is our 1-minute inverse for value gap here. You can see we have that microcycle sequential SMT between Q4 and Q1. Might be Q3 and Q4, I should say. But you don't really get those here on days indicator. However, you can see here, this is our other sequential SMT, which is a microcycle. So you can see 2:38 to 3:23. 238 to 323. This entry comes at within that 238 window, and you can see generally taking a trade before 3 o'clock is less high probability. However, when you have a 3-stage here, it gave me a lot of confidence. So as soon as we got this closure here, but in this 250 candle, I entered on the next candle into this inverse of value gap at 251. If we play this through, it's a really nice 4-hour trade. My stop was quite tight. It was at the high. However, you could have done this high to the left, really. Probably the more appropriate stop. So this is how the trade went down, and I'll show the execution shortly. And it was a really, really nice trade, about 4 hour. If we just play this through now, take profit was down here to this low here, and as soon as we got this daily cycle sequential SMT here on Dow, that's when we exited the trade and we're happy to get out. So you can see if we just play through here, get a really nice trade, nearly get stopped out actually, but this is just the importance of respecting your stop loss and just letting the trade play out. So I was really happy with this trade. You can see all these equal lows and this trend line liquidity, this low resistance liquidity was our target, and it's a really simple target in the end. Thinking about all the amount of stops here, and that was our get out there. So we took profits here, closed our trade, and that was us done. So entry was at 251 and exit was around 311, and that was just a really, really, really nice trade. So basically that's the little trade review for London45. Now I'm just going to go into the OracleX app and just journal my trade. So you can see I've got 2 setups here, 2 trading strategies. You see my dashboard here. This is my Lucid accounts. I've passed all these accounts, so into some funded accounts now with Lucid and TopStep, and doing really well. So you can see here, you can add a checklist. So if we just go on the dash and then the checklist, and you can add a strategy here and make a strategy. So I've created the London45 strategy. You get here to this box, and you can add all your strategy rules. And see, I've added all these rules here. So you just add rule. This is what you want. So key level, sequential SMT, 238 to 323. Above or below true day opens and true London open. And then I've got some extra ones here. Taking a trade before 3 o'clock, taking a trade after 3 o'clock. And then we can rate our trades. Okay, so you can configure a rating or manage your ratings here. So if you configure a rating, and you can get your A+ setups, and you simply just click what you think would be your A grade setup. So, and then save the rating rule. And then these are all my trade setups here. Really, really simple, really easy to use. And then we just go in and we journal. So this is the Lucid demo journal here. I've journaled this trade on XFA accounts. So this is the example of the trade here. I've just made this as an example. These are all my other trades here on the demo on Lucids. Some really, really nice trades here. But basically, you do a journal entry, okay, and you click your asset class that you want. You just add the asset class and type it in yourself. Your P&L, your risk to reward ratio, and you just upload a screenshot or whatever you like to make sure that you don't forget the trade, or you can easily see it. It's super easily accessible, and you don't have to worry about much after that. And then you add your checklist. So your London45 checklist, got all your checklists here. It gives you a rating of what sort of setup you took today, and then you add the rating yourself. Your trading psychology, how'd you feel during the trade? Really nice stuff. I'll just go into the trade that I did. So if you go to journaling here, it was around this trade here. So you can see this is the trade on TopStep around 590. It was a short. Entered a bit early because I got a bit impulsive, but that was an easy fix. So you had this daily cycle sequential SMT that I showed you, the 90-minute cycle sequential SMT with the micro, and this was the trade, beautiful trade that I showed you before, and a really simple way to journal your trades. Okay, so and then the best thing about this is it gives you the AI stuff, right? So it gives you the coach, and if we go into the coaching section, it gives you some nice insights about your patterns and your analysis. And these are my two most profitable trades. It's not going to do. You need at least 3 to 5 trades to really get started on this AI stuff, to really give it some insights, and it gives you this really great insight. You can do reflections, it gives you a summary, tracks your trades for you. Some really, really nice stuff, and you can ask the questions yourself, some AI stuff, and it's really beneficial and really helpful. And as you know, AI is the way of the future, apparently. So, that's it for today, guys. You can use my code, which I'll put below. It's TN10 to get 10% off. It's really easily accessible. It's really affordable, and I highly recommend this platform to you guys. Bucko is one of the best in the industry for QT especially, and he's really come a long way in creating this for everyone, and I think this is a really important platform. So that's it for the trade review, guys. Thanks a lot for joining me, and I'll see you for the next one.